Well, hello everyone. This is Mabry Mill, and I am going to get started on Mabry Mill video 1. Here's our photo. I've done my tracing and transfer, and everything is transferred here. I've done a color note, and I have used some Frisket. So this is Winsor Newton watercolor masking fluid. To do that, I've dipped this brush. It's not a valuable brush to me, but I dipped it in just a little bit of soapy water, and I was able to go into the jar and pull out what I needed, and I've put some masking fluid on the watercolor paper. So I have been thinking about this and determining what my underpainting will be. And I've decided that it will be a green so that I can put in the blue later on. So what I've done is I have mixed up this is Viridian and Aurelian. So together I get this wonderful lime shade, and over here is just simply Prussian blue, which I think will be the magic for some of the blue moving through the landscape. This is cobalt blue right here, and this is opera, but I have mixed it with actually I've mixed it with a little bit of I'm not sure, I can't remember, Crimson Lake, but a little bit of blue, cobalt blue with opera will give me the colors for the rhododendron. So let's begin. I am using this brush. I'd like to tell you what it is because it's a little different than a pointed brush. I believe it's called a wash brush. I could be so wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and load it. It will hold a lot of water. I'm going over the whole thing. So here we go. Well, I should tell you I'm going over the whole thing, but I'm not going to go over those rhododendrons. So this is just fun, everyone. You know, it's just fun. Because I like to say that what's underneath a watercolor is just as important, if not more important, than what is on top. We will be adjusting colors as we go. And I will remind you that the watercolor will dry 20% lighter. So I'm pretty pale as it is, but it will dry lighter. I'm gonna go and get a smaller brush. To move in and around these flowers. And I'm just gonna do what I can. And I will need to work a little faster because I do want some time to drop in some color. So I'll tell you, let me just get the water in. So I can drop in some of these blues. Okay, so let's hope that this is the Prussian. Okay, and just a little. So already I do start to feel the shoreline. Let's go ahead and get this in. I did add a little frisket here at the top. All right, and over here, my paper is drying a little bit. Okay, and you know, the more you look, the more you see. And I like that maybe I can see a little bit of orange back in here. And I'm going to lift out that tree or that post. And maybe just add some here. It will start to read like brown. So already the colors are harmonious and they're just pretty. Soft, you know, and here, this looks like a bank. Could be a fence, I don't know. I'm just okay. All right, so I do see that I have some bleeds down here on the bottom right, but I'm not going to worry about them. I'm still looking for places to pull in the orange and to pull in some of these pale colors that will show up from underneath. All right, well, let's add a little bit of blue. Okay, this is the Prussian blue. And, you know, I'm just gonna, my paper is dry, so I'm just gonna spot it in. I'm gonna use my brush to get as many variations of leaves and different textures from the hillside there. So I'm using the tip, I'm using the side. I'm dropping in. I just don't want all of my brush strokes to look the same. I'm taking it into that orange. And the good news is it's dry enough that it's not bleeding onto the barn. So some of these darker colors are actually going to let the barn pop out. I'm trying to feel the trees. Okay, and this, So there is some frisket here to hold some of the lightest greens. But I'm enjoying the colors. And just dropping some of those in there. All right, and there's plenty over here. Again, using the different sides of my brush. I smell the wet paper. All right, and we will be creating a very strong break there. All right, so let's just go ahead and get that in there. This is what I would call glaze. It's another color going over top of the first color. The paper is damp, and when the paper is damp, you can get about 45 minutes of nice damp paper painting, and that's what's happening. It's just so soft. And I get a lot of these very soft edges. It's actually very pliable and doable. It's a beautiful surface to work on. And what you want to do is blend as much as you can as you go. I can still see my pencil line underneath all these beautiful washes. The colors just make me so happy. I hope that's the reason you paint as well. It's pushing all these happy colors around. And if we get a wonderful result, well, that's just the bonus. When this dries, I will be able to go on to the roof and add the blue. But I like the idea that the green reflecting off the hillside is part of the wood grain. So all of this will have to be dry before I'm able to pick up some of those backwashes or cauliflower marks, whatever you like to call them. And the paper is still damp. We've now been painting 22 minutes, and it's just a wonderful surface. I'm gonna have to be careful though, because it is starting to dry. This will take some effort. In the front. So we're gonna call this finished for the moment. Oh well, let's keep going. I just see how I'm able to soften, and I don't want to lose the opportunity. That is beautiful. I mean, it pleases me, I should say. Just softening these edges. And doing it now before it dries. Totally. Okay, that does look better. I'm gonna lift that up a little. Okay, just one more thing. I am gonna go get permanent yellow, and I'm gonna see if I can just apply this right here. This is permanent yellow light, but it's over top of Viridian. There. Oh, I like that. So let's just make it strong. Okay. And it'll go over in here as well. And we're gonna work that in. Oh my, that's so pretty. Okay. All right, I think let's see if we can add some here. some of this is frisket, so I might be painting over top of the frisket, but not right here. Okay, we're done for this session.